Welcome to my live stream today. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Shout out to NTZ crew. There's Michael Beach of Life. There's Jacob Tanjay. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate your support. All my old heads, there's Ken of Beans, Elect, Makata, Jeffrey Tatter. Thank y'all so much for all your support throughout the years. Any new viewers joining us for the first time, and of course, anybody catching this on live stream, thank y'all so much. You know, the topic today is, the Philippines can be intimidating. Visiting the Philippines can be intimidating for the first time. Are you ready? And we just want to kind of give some tips on when you're traveling abroad, traveling overseas, some things that you can prepare for over here, etc. I want to introduce my panel. First we got up is Dana Middleton. Everybody knows that me and Dana go back and forth, but what y'all don't know is me and Dana have an understanding, really. Dana's one of the few subscribers of mine who will actually pick up the phone and call me and give me counsel, really. He's not giving advice, just sort of like a big brother type talk. But welcome, Dana.
Hello, everybody.
You want to give a little brief introduction?
Yeah, I'm Dana Middleton. I own and run a travel agency called bestfaresfortravel.com. I've been in the travel industry legally since 2007, but I have about 35 years in the travel industry. My whole thing is make a dream come true. Whether you're traveling to become an expat or you're traveling for a vacation, know what you see and enjoy what you see.
Well, good.
What's the channel again?
No, he doesn't have a channel. He has a travel agency.
Okay. I'm keeping
It's called
track.
Best Travel. Is it Best Travels, right?
No, it's BEST, Best Fares, FARES, the number 4.
Okay.
Travel.
Okay, good. Now, do you have a website? Is that what the website is?
That's actually my Facebook page.
Okay.
You go to Facebook and you put that in, it brings you to me.
And I want to welcome John back. We had some connection problems last time, John, so I asked you back because a lot of guys are interested in what you have to say. And even though I grew up in a community where guys like you didn't exist, but I said that, but then I had to rethink. I had an uncle like you who, went his own way. He was never married. And my mother didn't allow us to, she didn't want us going over there because he had his porno books out and his movie reels out. He didn't have it.
Oh, that was your crazy uncle, huh?
Well, he wasn't crazy. I mean, he was like bad Leroy Brown, really. He worked for the mob, and then all of a sudden he got a job with the ATF. He lived to be 83 or 84 years old. He was a bad man. But welcome back, John.
Thank you.
Okay, John. So now you got a bar. You got to get to 85.
Well, I don't know if I want to do that, actually.
Do you got your movie reel going? You got a movie reel over there, John? Because he had those old reel-to-reel movies, and he'd be playing them. My father would take me over there. Hell, I think that's the first time I seen a woman's anatomy. And, it was over his house.
No, I think that's where your uncle and I depart a bit. I don't have any of that going on.
He actually killed a guy in a bar. He was working up in Covington, Kentucky for the mob. He was like a bouncer slash bartender. Somebody got out of hand. He was stabbed. The guy stabbed him so many times. I mean, he left lifelong scars on my uncle, but my uncle got the best of it. The guy ended up dying, but he never did a day in jail for that. Mysteriously, he was whisked out of town, and hell, next thing you know, he had a great job in Cincinnati, Ohio, working for the ATF, man, and he retired from that. So, one thing I want to say, I forgot to say this. The peso is 56.96. It had reached 57 yesterday. And I tell you, if you're over here right now, you need to be going to the bank. You need to be exchanging some of them dollars into pesos. That's high. It hasn't been that high for a long time. But some sad news, and I put it on my community page. A woman in Dumaguete was stabbed in the back and killed for refusing to give a begging drug addict money. Listen, guys, I've done a video on this before. I called it the white man's burden. When you come over here, people are going to be asking you for money. There's two people, drug addicts and disabled people. Okay, and you know, and a lot of us think it's our burden to carry over here. You got to use your due diligence on this one, but I'm going to tell you something. You're getting this from me. Carry some small bills and change in your pocket. It might save your life. This woman, man, this is as sad of a story as I've seen in a long, long time. I mean, they should, you know, remember, this is the Philippines. They show everything. They don't have anything. They show when the woman was walking by him, she had her 2 grocery bags. Man, this woman probably worked hard all day, was taking that groceries home to her family. And the guy runs up behind her, just stabs her in the back, man. And she bled out, man. It showed everything. Marilyn started crying. It was sad, man.
Was she an expat or a Filipino?
No, she was a Filipino. But I'm saying, when they asked the guy why he killed her, he said he was hungry. And the GMA network, you know, they came out with their story and said the woman had refused to give him alms. You know, he had asked for some money and she refused. So and the minute she turned her back, he runs up behind and stabs in the back. Guys, look these people in the eye. If you see something that ain't right, man, give them 20 pesos, man, or something. It may save your life. You know, I would never blame the victim because she probably knows more about these people than I do. But it was just sad. It was really sad.
You know, Calvin, it's really interesting you bring that up because I just had a conversation with one of your subscribers who's about to leave to come over there. And, you know, I was telling him that right now, since the peso is, or the dollar is so strong against the peso, that he might want to get in contact with his bank and, you know, buy some pesos over there. And he says, yeah, well, last time I did that, they only gave me big bills. I said, well, that's a smart thing. They gave you big bills because it's easier to transport. However, what you do need to understand is when you get in that airport, you go to the money changer and you take out pesos to exchange. They don't charge you, at least they didn't charge me to exchange for smaller denominations of bills. And I'll tell you what, you're absolutely right. You look at 20 and you're thinking, man, I don't want to give him $20. It ain't $20. Okay. It's not $20. So you're absolutely right in encouraging people, listen, get those small bills. I mean, they don't seem small to you, but in real value, they're small bills.
Okay, MF Doom, that's a supervillain, says, give them money, then they'll never stop. Well, if they stab you in the damn back and kill you, you'll never give them again. You'll never give again. You got to understand that you're not going to pass these people every day. MF Doom, and you don't have to do it. It's just a suggestion. This is Western thinking, man. Okay, that you're bringing over here. These people, you don't understand. This guy probably hadn't. I'm not justifying what he did. But you know, these people out here, man, they've been on the streets. They probably haven't eaten in days on that. Well, he was sniffing glue. This is his drug of choice. He's out of his mind. This woman didn't do nothing to him. And he came up and stabbed her in the back. How much more would he stab you in your damn back? So you tough guys, come over here if you want to. That's the problem. You don't want to take suggestions. Well, come on over here. Like I said, 20 pesos may save your life. You don't have to do it. I'm sorry.
And Calvin, these guys have no idea what the level of desperation is for some people over there.
Yeah, but see, that's that old Western thinking. Oh, give him, and he'll keep asking. Well, you have to understand there's no safety net over here like we have in the United States. You can't tell a man now go get a job when there is no job, or you know, or whatever it is. Hey, thanks W Secrets to Success for that super chat. He said, Cal, you're a one forgiving person. Good man. Yeah, you know, I've been forgiven, and you know, that's just the way I'm going to live my life. He says, who is this? Captain Mark said there was a stabbing on the highway on the border of Dumaguete and Bakong a few days ago. Bunch of local guys fighting and in the street, and all of a sudden a dude gets stabbed in the back on camera. Yeah, that's a little bit different than what happened to this woman. Guys, keep your head on the swivel over here, but I did a video a long time ago about that. I'm going to put it on my community page. It's called The White Man's Burden. And I named it that because Mark Twain back then, it was either him or Ernest Hemingway. Mark Twain, because that was back when the United States first colonized the Philippines. He was saying, you know, we think it's always our burden to civilize and take care of the Philippines, you know. And I just named the video that because we come over here with the same mentality. We feel sorry for people. We sympathize with them. We think it's our burden. A lot of times it's not, but you have to use your common sense and say, hey, do I give him 20 pesos and live another day? Or do I bring that mentality like MF Doom? I ain't giving you nothing. Get a job and get stabbed in the back. It's up to you, okay? But let's move on. Something else I wanted to talk about was my video I made yesterday. Look, guys, here was the point of the video. The good times in the Philippines are not free. There's a price to be paid. I just want to let you know all that good sugary stuff you're seeing on YouTube about the Philippines is true, but there's a price you have to pay for it. It's not free, and it's a very high price. It's not just money. Okay, so when you come way over here, you forsake Mexico, Dominican Republic, and all these other places for the Philippines. I just want you to know that you're going to pay a high price for doing that. Okay, and if you're okay with the price, then go ahead. Now, let's get started. Dana, you said something to me yesterday that was kind of profound. You said, guys have no idea what they're dealing with when they first get to the Philippines and they get off the plane and they breathe in that first breath of air. Can you elaborate on that again, if you could?
You know, it's emblematic of stepping out of one culture and into another. I mean, the air, you know, most people here in the States, they just take it for granted. They go outside and they breathe the air and think nothing of it. But you get off that plane after 18 to 22 hours, 32 hours, and they open that fuselage, and that you all of a sudden your sense of smell says, wait a minute, I'm not used to this. And it's not that it's bad, it's different. People forget they're on an archipelago of 7,636 islands. So it's surrounded by ocean. So between that and basically, unless you go up into the mountains, most of the cities are on coastlines. And it's emblematic of how different things are going to be. A lot of things you're gonna recognize because they're westernized. It's a westernized nation, even though it's in Southeast Asia. So there's a lot of things that you're going to recognize as far as sight, sound, and smell. But for the most part, part of that cost that you were talking about and we were talking about is the fact that you're going to see things that you're not used to seeing before. That's going to smack you right in the face and the chops and say, you are in a different place now.
Yeah, they're gonna say welcome to the Philippines is what they're gonna say. Hey, but when you fly to Cebu, it's because you're in Lapu-Lapu, which is Mactan, same thing. It's the second most congested city in the Philippines, which means it's one of the most congested places on the planet. So you're getting a whiff of all that too. So
hey man, Lapu-Lapu reminds me of Mexico City.
Can of beans, thanks for this correction. It's Rudyard Kipling. I don't know who it was, but anyway, that's what he was talking about. The white man's burden and the Philippines. But he said the air must smell like some Tijuana nightclubs. I've been in them before, but you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. And once you fall in love with the Philippines, you will actually look forward to that smell. You'll be like, man, I'm back in the Philippines because there's nothing like it. Now, what should people prepare for when they come to Mexico, John, that we don't prepare for? Because, Americans, we take things for granted. We just, we walk in tall in our big black boots like we own every country we come into. And what is it that people overlook in Mexico?
I have a YouTube channel, but for me, it's just a hobby. So I don't ever aspire to make money or art. And if you go to it, Crazy Old Gringo, you're going to see a bunch of videos of me on a bicycle going around to interesting places in this little fishing tourist town. And it could be any place. If you didn't know where I was, it would be any place, anywhere. Clean, and shrubbery is done nicely, and the streets are clean, and the people are waving to you. And that is probably a big surprise, because the biggest question I always get is it dangerous there? It's not. It's not dangerous. I never hear of anything that goes on. Once in a while, the cartel gets a little goofy, but they do themselves. The tourists aren't bothered. That would be a bad plan for them. So the biggest surprise is you have a bigger chance of getting killed in the United States at a Tempe nightclub than you do down here. You might get some sunburn. Yesterday, I was riding my bike and I got a little heat stroke. That's about the biggest. This is clean and beautiful, and I'm 2 blocks from the beach, and there's jet skis and fishing and boating, and I mean anything that you can imagine that's pleasant is right here. And of course there's poverty too, okay. But the reality is that women have a better financial opportunity here than I think maybe they do in the Philippines. And they have that financial opportunity for a longer age. After 40, after 50, they can still find something that can sustain them. And I think the median wage is maybe $500 a month for them. Oh, okay. So, they learn how to get by, and it's pleasant. And that's what surprises. It's pleasant. Go to my channel. Again, I'm not monetized, so whatever. But if you want to see Mexico, that's it. You're going to see really nice, pleasant, clean stuff, fun stuff.
You know something, John? I got to tell you, I can't hold this one in. you know, you look happy. You know?
Yeah, I'm real happy, man.
And so what's running through my mind is, would you have this level of personal happiness if your circumstances were the same, but you were in the United States? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the external pressures that it comes with living in the United States wouldn't allow you to be as seemingly happy as you are right now.
Would you remind me of your first name, please?
Dana.
Dana, apologies. Well, the circumstances have changed drastically since I came here 9 years ago permanently. I was up in the United States working a very stressful job. Prior to that, I'd been in a relationship that was just disastrous. Disastrous. I hated every day of my life. I had a big house and I was relegated to 2 rooms in this big house while but you know, at the end of the day, I take stock of it and it's all about me. What is it I did? What was my mistakes? What am I not going to do again? And so one of the things I did, Dana, or didn't do is drag my luggage with me to Mexico. What I had in the United States that was causing me problems, I left in the United States. And I tried diligently, not always successfully, not to do the same thing over and over again that was causing me problems, causing me headaches. So as I've said before on Cal's channel here, I'm completely happy. I wake up every day with no stress, completely happy. And I have friends, and there's things to do. You know, I don't go down to the American Legion and sit around all day sucking up beer. That's nowhere. You know, or you could do that in Dumagetti. You could do that.
So what are
anywhere.
You saying? Are women are stressful?
No, I'm saying that if you don't learn coping skills, whatever goes on, it's my fault. I got to figure out what is it I'm doing to make myself unhappy. I put myself in that situation. Eventually I got myself out, but when things are toxic and you can't fix it, sometimes you just pull the pin on a grenade, throw it down the hall, and it blows everything out. And I think a lot of your viewers might have done that. A lot of people on a YouTube channel eventually just said, click, bam. And then they did what's called a John Galt from Atlas Shrugged. They quit. They quit society. They quit everything. And they went somewhere, Philippines, Mexico, whatever. We got them here. We got some John Galters here.
Well, Calvin talks about it all the time, how you have a chance to be rejuvenated, let us say, when you go to the Philippines. And I dare say that can be other countries too. It just depends on where your interest to have as a destination. But there's a lot to be said about being rejuvenated. And Calvin, I'm going to tell you something. I am one of those guys that, especially this last trip to the Philippines, I was sitting there in the lobby looking out over those runways waiting for my plane to pull up. And I had a tear on both eyes roll down my cheeks. And I'm thinking, I cannot believe you're sitting here crying in the airport. But yeah, it happened.
Yeah, it happened. Hey, thanks, Rand, the Eating Warrior, for the super chat. He says, I gave a few pesos out to the homeless kids in Manila, almost to cause a child mob. Be smart what you do when giving to homeless. I try not to do it in front of others. Yeah, you got to use your common sense. This guy wasn't a child, though. He was a grown man. And you can kind of see the desperation in their eyes. She probably never even really paid him much attention because it happens all the time, you know, especially in those cities like the Dumaguetis, the Cebus, the Manilas, right? You know, you have to understand when you give a child, when you see a child out there begging, guys, it's more than one child. Okay, it's not just some child just wandering around the street. He's a part of a child mob. And the minute they see you pull out that money and give to him, they're going to surround you. It happened to me in Dumagueti. But this particular incident, this was a grown-ass man. He was 28 years old. Come to find out his brother had killed some man while he was just sleeping. Just dropped a big-ass piece of concrete over his head and killed him. So these guys aren't in their right mind, but you know, it's up to you. You know, you're right. You do got to be smart, but if I'm walking and I got 20 pesos in my pocket and I see some starving, glue addicted drug addict and he sticks his hand out there for money, I'm probably going to give it to him and keep going. Okay. Or at least that 20 pesos is going to distract him enough I can cross the street. Okay. But my life is worth more than 20 pesos or 50 pesos or whatever it is. Okay. So that's all I'm saying, guys. You know, use your common sense that God gave a damn gorilla and get your ass out of there. You know, this woman, man, it's the saddest story I've ever heard. You know, people over here are struggling to begin with, man. And the lady's got these bags in her hands. She's going home because she don't actually live in Dumaguete. She lived outside of Dumaguete in a place called San Jose. It's about 25 minutes outside of Dumaguete. So she was probably going to catch the bus to go home. And man, he came up behind her, man, and stabbed her in the back. This woman bled out. They showed the blood and everything on the ground. The tricycle driver took her to the hospital, but she was dead on arrival, man. You know, just be careful, guys. That's all I'm saying, you know.
Animals prey on the weak and the lame.
Yeah, I think he saw something, you know, I don't know. I would never blame the victim. Something made him do that, and it sent shivers through me because I pass people like that every single day, and I'm like, man, that could have been me, you know. So
You just be extra careful on this walk, your upcoming walk, okay?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have something with me. I'm not worried about that, you know, because I'm gonna walk toward the traffic, okay, and I don't foresee any problems with that. It's just that when you're in these cities, man, and because when we were in Bacolod, man, just so many. I mean, these guys, they look dangerous because they're not in the right state of mind. They're on drugs. They're hungry. They're desperate, and they'll kill you and won't think nothing of it. He's sitting, you know, over here in the Philippines. They interview you while you're in jail, and he's just sitting there like he spilled over a cup of milk or something. That he didn't kill a wife and a mother and some innocent woman probably just getting home from work, man. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. Pumpkin Joe, Philippine Experience said, the beach of life. Thanks for the travel link. I was looking to book a ticket overseas, but prices are crazy now. Let's see. Al Rogan said, in Davao, I gave money to a child without a riot. I won't do that now after being educated here. Hey, Gleason Baker, thanks for that super chat. He said there was a great video about flying in LDRs. Thank you. This is Gleason that I was talking about. And, you know, you came across my mind, and that's why I talked about that, Gleason, because he wants to come to the Philippines, Dana. Okay. But he's afraid to get on that plane. And see, Dana gave me some great, you know, he just gave me a talking to like somebody's brother or something. He's like, let your desire to go somewhere override your fear, man. And it made a lot of sense to me. And I'm thinking the same thing to you, Gleason. You know, let your desire to come to the Philippines overcome your, override your fear. And you also said something else, Dana, that stuck with me. You said, I'd rather die in a plane crash than waste away in the hospital dying of COVID. Okay? Yeah. Because we're going to die. We're going to die, guys. You know, y'all remember John Madden? Does anybody on the panel remember John Madden?
Of course. He hated to fly.
He hated to fly. He never flew. He drove all across the country with his RV, but he eventually died. So, you make a great point. It's all in my head, guys. I've flown so much. And, my daughter, I'm going to her graduation, man, no matter what. If they got to tie me to the damn seat, Dana, I'm going. I'll be there.
I was a seatbelt, Calvin.
I was thinking about you the other day after I talk, and I found a quote that Teddy Roosevelt, he gave a speech at the Sorbonne. Can I read it to you? Very short.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like it. Okay, it says, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who is at best knows in the end triumph is the high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who never know victory or defeat. Get up
Wow.
and go. Get up and go. It's the,
Absolutely.
we talked about some gentlemen yesterday, or you did the other day, about armchair quarterbacks. A lot of guys making the big plan to go to the Philippines or to go to someplace and who actually never do it. And you know what? That's okay. And all it takes is courage. Courage. It just takes courage. Just, put aside, is Mexico dangerous? Look at my damn videos, man. I'm an old man riding around on a bike in the cleanest place that you could possibly imagine where people are saying hello.
But you know what? See, it's all a part of the plan. Okay. I'm gonna be specific. Here in the United States, they don't want you to get to see that there are other places on this planet that are as nice and in some cases even better to live. Remember the second, after the First World War, there was a song that said, how you going to keep them down on the farm after they've seen Paris? And that song was specifically about all the soldiers, all the doughboys in the First World War that they sent over there, the affluent families. Their sons didn't go and participate in the First World War. They weren't in the trenches, okay? So the song was about how are you going to keep all these minorities, black guys and farm boys, how are you going to bring them back to the farm after they've seen Paris? And that has a has worked on our subconscious psyche forever. They don't want passport bros, okay? They don't want you to go and see, oh my God, Calvin is living his best life in the Philippines. Oh my God, there's a guy that's going over to the Dominican Republic and he's productive. We don't want to lose these guys, this potential, these high dollar earning people to go to other places because they're happy. We need them here to support our system, no matter how corrupt it is. So
absolutely.
Go ahead.
I just want to say something real quick to W Secrets to Success. I'm not hating on Deion Sanders. I posted something on my Facebook today. I said, I guess Deion Sanders is the new head Negro, and he's replaced Obama as the new head Negro in charge in America. So if you criticize him or question him, black people are going to come for you. Okay. I was just saying, guys, it's too early. I want Deion to succeed, but hell, he's just a football coach, guys. We, be careful who we place up there. We always want to place these people up there. We don't know Deion Sanders for real. I want the best for Deion, but I'm not ready to elect him as, as a leader of black people. I mean, he had one game, guys, and we're acting just like, people expect us to act. And, I'm just saying, calm down, man. It's just a football game. That's all. I can't even turn on my YouTube now. And there's Deion Sanders there. And everybody, is just riding his coattail. I'm like, guys, come on, man. He's won one game in the Power 5. Let's wait till the whole season plays out. I'm not hating on anybody. You got to know, I want everybody to win. I've always said that. But I just think we're acting childish, man. It's foolish. And it makes black people look stupid to point your finger like that and say, oh, I told you so. Look at me. You know, it just rubbed me the wrong way, man. I think humility goes a long way. But no, I don't hate on anybody. I'm just saying, I don't want Deion Sanders to split the country. Hell, the country's already split. But the minute you say something about him, here come black people like they did Obama. You know, you couldn't say one bad thing about Obama. If you were white, you were racist. If you were black, you were sellout. Guys, I think for myself, I'm going to say what the hell I want to say. I say, calm down. You know, I want Deion to win, but it ain't all of that, guys. You know, it's a lot more problems going on in America than a football game. That's a diversion. Haven't y'all learned already? But let's get back to I'm not hating on Deion Sanders. I don't even know Deion Sanders. I'm talking about the attitude surrounding him. It's foolish, man. We ain't done nothing, man. We ain't overcome because he won a damn football game. Hey, Rand, Ian Warren, thanks for that super chat. He said, best know the U.S. government will find a way to tax those citizens that voluntarily move out of the country. Actually, what they're doing, they give us a tax break. Let's see. Where is he? I'm sorry, guys. I'm on my phone, so I'm trying to, oh, here it is. Find his super chat. Okay. He said, best know the U.S. government will find a way to tax those citizens that voluntarily move out of the U.S. for financial reasons. LOL. I can see that happening if going and staying overseas becomes more popular. Well, actually, they give you a tax break, you know, as far as the actual taxes. Now, you still have to pay, for me, I'm a 1099. I still have to pay my self-employment tax, Social Security, which is still high. You know, I paid a little bit over $7,000 last year. But, you know, it's just how it is. Yeah, see, I'm not the only one. He said, Frank Ellis said, he's only coached one game. I don't know. Okay, yeah. He's only coached one game, he said. But yeah.
You know what, Calvin? Let me just say this. That one game, the limit of its being significant is in the very small arena of sports. It's not a cultural shift. And, you know, I agree with you. Everybody's trying to make this some sort of a cultural shift. And this is a new day for Black people and
absolutely,
you know,
yeah.
And all this is Denzel Washington gets the lead in Othello. Okay. How much is that going to change society? It's nothing. Okay. I'm happy
we've been fooled again. Okay? Yeah, we've been fooled again. We've been fooled again. You know, and we keep falling for it over and over and over. Now if you say, oh man, Deion only won one game, oh, you hating on Deion. He's got haters. Y'all fail to realize, guys, that y'all are barely making it from paycheck to paycheck. This man's getting $5.5 million to coach that team. He better win, and that's just his salary. That's not the endorsements and stuff. Man, we root for the wrong people. Deion is not the underdog, guys. He's a filthy rich man. He's going to get richer and richer and richer. Okay? Stop it. Just foolishness, guys.
Calvin, did you watch the game?
I did watch it.
Okay. You're going to appreciate this. How many commercials during that game did you see Deion on? Every Aflac commercial, and they ran about a half a dozen of them. He was on there. You don't see any other football coach on all them damn commercials during his game. Okay?
Yeah, well, his boss is white. It's a white institution he's coaching for, guys. Slow down with this stuff. That's all I'm saying. It just makes I'm just the type of guy. I sit back and I just can't, I I just can't let it go past without saying something. This is the type of stuff I talk to my children about. Be careful who you put up there and who you follow and who you make your, idols and stuff, man. We don't know these people for real. People don't know Deion Sanders, man. Hey, Bijan Bain, he says, my third trip, he said on TV, I only watch boxing and football. That's my excuse. But Bijan Bain says he's going to, my third trip to Thailand starts tomorrow. Wow. I saw on the YouTube where Chocolate Man in Thailand, him and a bunch of guys just came back from the Philippines. Now they're back home in Thailand. Yeah. Yeah, the old banana in the tailpipe trick, He says, come on, Dana, ain't nothing changed. Yeah, that's right. Nothing's changed, guys. But that's what we do, man. And it's just, I'm like, didn't y'all learn from Obama, man? That all of a sudden, that everything was supposed to be, we've overcome now. And hell, shit is worse now than it was before he was the damn president, man. Golly.
Let me tell you, he becoming the president scared the majority of American society to death. Okay. That scared people to death.
Okay, the Beach of Life says, football all is the modern day bread and circus. It's a distraction. Of course, they are going to pump up the new guy. I still love me some Neon Deion. Yeah, I do too. But I'm thinking, man, we've taken it though. You're a white guy, Mike. You don't understand. Our culture is taking Deion Sanders, and all of a sudden he's way up here. I wouldn't doubt that he could run for president right now. We vote for him. That's how crazy we are, man. Over one. Let me tell y'all something. What makes a good coach? Great players. That's what makes a good coach. He's got, people are underestimating how good those players are that he has on the team. His son is a damn good player, man. You think what's his name? Saban could win at Eastern Kentucky? No. Nick Saban has to have those great players that he has year after year after year. But it's just, it's just crazy over one game, guys. That's all I'm saying. It's just one damn game. But anyway, let's move on. It says, let me draw your picture. It says, pay football players millions, pay our disabled vets like bellboys. Yeah, we're rooting for the wrong people.
Exactly.
It's turned upside down. I'm like, why am I rooting for him? And he'll never give me one penny. He'll never want to, come on my show and say, hey guys,
let me tell you something. What would happen if we took $5 million and we put it in our local school district?
Yeah.
So, I read
but it's all
survey.
about hate. It's all about hating Deion now. W Secrets to Success, you know me better than that. I don't hate on nobody. I know we can all win.
I read a survey not too long ago that it listed the largest wage earners or the highest paid people in each state. Don't you know that in 39 of our states, the highest paid person in that state was a college football coach?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the American thinking, though.
Yeah.
Where, especially in the black community, man, we're always trumpeting these athletes and entertainers, man. Like, come on. There's more to us than that. But we've fallen for it again. Now it's Deion Sanders. Who's next, man? Come on, guys. It's more important things going on in the world, than whether or not they win every damn game or not. It's not going to affect your life. He's talking about, oh, yeah, he motivates me. Yeah, well, get a better job. Take better care of your damn self. You're not doing that. You're lying. You're just jumping on the bandwagon. It's not even a feel-good story. It's not like, you know, Dimitri living the dream. Thanks for that super sticker. But that's why I like my channel, man. We can talk about a bunch of different things, and then get back on topic. Reorders 7. Thanks for that super chat. He says, I totally agree with you about Deion. Don't stop speaking your mind. Yes, Deion should give more credit to the O&D line. You rock, Cal. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, guys. So look, go ahead. Look on your YouTube line now. It's like Deion farted this morning, and he's got 100,000 views. It's like, it's crazy, man. And I'm like, it's not all that, guys. Okay, but let's move on. Okay, Dana. Now I know that you got a lot of guys set up to come over here. You don't just give them plane tickets. Looks to me like you set them up with that, with a whole itinerary.
Well, not only do I set them up with an itinerary, I also give them history, what they're stepping into, because that culture just didn't land there yesterday. Okay, so I tell them about the history. I talk to them about the little things that will turn say a vacation into an experience. Okay, because I have to always work under the assumption that my clients, they're not going to be able to go back to the Philippines or back to Jamaica or back to Ghana or back to wherever they've chosen to have me help them go to. And so I want them, I have so many wonderful experiences from traveling because I started at 8 years old. And I call on them from time to time. There's not a day that I don't think about being in the Philippines, not one day. And I know for these guys, these are going to be life-changing experiences. And I want them to get absolutely every bit of juice out of that coconut that they can get.
So what is your selling point to someone, a newbie going to the Philippines?
Yeah, good question.
My selling point is accepting and becoming a part of the culture for the time that they're there. I give them a customized service. My service, when you book with me, my service starts from the time you lock your front door and start heading to the airport until you get back home and unlock your door to walk back in your house.
Yeah, so now I noticed that you sent Geechee Land. You was telling me to a volunteer group to rebuild a school. Now, was that something he suggested or something you suggested?
Well, that's a good thing.
I built his trip around. That's what he was going to do anyway. That was a part of what he wanted to do on his trip. So I built his trip around the fact that he was going to, with this volunteer group, to build a school outside of Tacloban.
Yeah. Okay, W Secrets to Success. Thanks for that super chat. And I consider W Secrets to Success a real friend. He's come to my house. We've ate dinner together and everything like that. He says, Cal, you wish he was coaching the University of Kentucky team, don't you? He said, bro, it ain't that serious. Calm down. But it is that serious, man. It is that serious. We've taken that, and it's like a needle we're sticking into the eye of the system, guys. It's not going to change anything. It is serious. That's why I make the quote. The post that I made today, we're taking it out of context and it's blowing it up way beyond, Deion Sanders. He's not the first one. Let him lose. Let him start losing. And you guys are going to scatter like a bunch of roaches. I've seen it before. Okay. There was a guy, look it up. There was a guy named Ron Cooper. He was Deion before Deion at the University of Louisville, right? Back in the 90s. came in talking all that good talk, black guy. First year he went 7-4. Don't you know the next year he lost the first 3 games or whatever it was. They didn't even give him chance. The alumni came together, put up $1 million and got his ass out of town. And they'll do the same thing to Deion Sanders. He better win every game with the attitude he's got. You got to show some humility, man. Guy's up there, he wins 1 game. Do you believe I keep receipts? Man, you beat 1 team. What was they overrated? You know, I'm like, dude, what happens when you lose and they throw that right back in your face? Now they're going to be racist. You know, it's crazy, man. Yeah, and he will lose. He's going to lose.
Hey, Calvin, whatever happened to the story of Eddie Robinson?
Which Eddie Robinson? Eddie Robinson Jr.?
No, Eddie Robinson, the coach that was at Grambling, that's, I believe he's still either number 1 or number 2 as the all-time winningest college football coach. He's a black man, coached at Grambling.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've heard of him, but I'm saying at the end of the day, it doesn't affect us really. It's there to entertain us, to keep us distracted so that they can do other things. You know, while we're distracted looking at this damn football game or baseball game or whatever it is. Okay. See, this is all I'm saying. It's a distraction. At the end of the day, it's not going to move the needle, not 1 bit, to help your life. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Okay. Kevin Hill says that, Calvin, you're absolutely right. If you've never been out of the United States, being overseas can be intimidating. I was intimidated when I had to leave here and go to Thailand. Even after all the stuff I'd heard about Thailand, and it's only like 2.5 hours. That's from gate to gate, Dana. From from Manila to Bangkok. It's 2.5 hours. I was scared to death. And a guy probably watching now, a guy name was Jeffrey Tatter. He's another guy that reaches out to me. He said, Cal, I can help you. And he set me up with a guy by the name of Mr. Lee. And the rest was history, man. But I think that's important that you have somebody to hold your hand, like Dana, something like that. It's important if it's your first time, especially. But yeah, it really, really helps a lot. RLVRV said for first timers going to Manila, bring lots of patience. FIBA, which is, you know, that the big basketball tournament's going on right now, guys, in Manila. FIBA, media, and other delegates were shocked at Manila's traffic. Yeah. It's some of the worst in the world. Okay.
Calvin.
That's why I don't go there.
You just made me think about something. You know that there's a difference between walking a mile in the United States and walking a mile in the Philippines. Now, the Philippine mile is a lot longer. And the reason it is because walking the mile in the Philippines, your curiosity of seeing things that are so different and seeing some things that are so familiar, you lose track of the distance because you're distracted by all the new and exciting things that you're looking at and smelling and seeing. And, you know, it's like, oh man, I might see 4 or 5 really attractive women if I walked a mile in a mall here in the United States. But if I walked a mile in a mall in the Philippines, I probably end up walking 1.5 miles or 2 miles because I'm so distracted.
Yeah, right. Now here's Rod Wu. Now see, he's making my point for me. Now where in the world did he say I wasn't giving Deion credit? Didn't I say that I want Deion to win? I want everybody to win. I'm just saying that we went overboard. He said, oh, Calvin, I lost respect for you. Well, you never respected me to begin with. Okay, just congratulate the brother. I did, but I'm saying I'm not ready to make a statue of Deion Sanders outside of the Colorado Stadium after one victory. Okay, guys, Deion's giving young brothers confidence in themselves. Well, you know, you say that, but he goes out and he hires all white coordinators. So come on, man, with that. See, if you say something, if you criticize him or question him right now, oh, I'm a sellout, I lose respect. Well, I'm sorry, man. I don't need your respect, sir. I've got self-respect. Just what Deion was talking about. I've got just as much respect as him. So get off here with that foolishness, okay? I'm sorry. That's childish what you're doing. You know, that when he starts losing, because he's going to lose, okay? It may not be this year. You know, sports is fickle. It's a never ending. You can't win enough. You guys are going to scatter like a fucking bunch of roaches. Get over here with that. Okay. He says, now see, now they trying to jump on me. Mr. X said, and when Calvin is out, he can have his views. You know what's going on. Leave it at that. Well, I don't know what's going on. You know, y'all make my point. He's become the new head Negro in America. If you can't criticize him, it's like he's our, you know, it's a chance to strike out at the system, which y'all don't understand. He's not moving the needle one bit. Congratulations, Deion, on a football win. Now let that motivate y'all to do something better for your life, okay? Because I've been trying to motivate you, but I can't motivate you. If a football game is going to motivate you, so be it, man. Go ahead, but don't come on my channel trying to knock me down, telling me you lost respect for me. You don't even know me. You're nothing but an invisible profile. Why should I care? Like Deion said, why should I care what you think about me? Your opinion or not of me is not my opinion of me. All right? That's your hero, buddy. I'm going to use his words against you. W Secret Success said, Cal, damn, you passionate about this Deion situation. No, I'm not. I'm passionate about the foolishness of our people when it comes to sports and different things. Okay, when it comes to things that can really change the narrative, we don't volunteer for, we don't sign up for. But we'll wait till a guy's in a damn football game, and now we want to take over the country. He said, did he take your girlfriend in high school? Okay, I'll leave it alone now. No, it's just, you know, we're looking foolish. Okay.
Calvin, how many times in our lifetime, and this is for you too, John, how many times in our lifetime have we seen the flavor of the month?
Yeah. Now, here's something that makes sense. He said, Abel's Journey said, Rod Woo. I don't even think he's a real man. Okay, he says, you have more access to Calvin than you do to Deion Sanders, but you say you've lost respect for Calvin. You don't even know Calvin, dude, and he don't need your respect. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. We don't even know these people. I mean, he wouldn't give you the time of day, okay? But we're quick to put these guys up there and fight for him. He's the underdog and all that. Not remembering this guy's probably earning like $10 million a year. He better win. Let me say one more thing, and I'm not going to say anything else about it. His boss is white. The institution that he's winning for is white, guys. So it's not going to move the narrative of black people anyway. You don't get ahead that way, pointing fingers and all of that, keeping receipts and all of that. Come on, guys. Hey, Don Johnson, good morning. I'm returning to the Philippines tomorrow for my last few days of 30-day Southeast Asia tour. I want to travel to a mountainous region in a province. Where would you recommend? Baguio would be the perfect place for you. It's become a tourist mecca over here in the Philippines.
Yeah, Baguio and La Union.
Yeah, you're going to have a great time there. Jacob Tajay says, every coach is hard to be fired. Yeah, you know, we're so fickle, man. Okay, we're just so fickle when it comes to sports. Geechee Land Journey says, I don't give a damn about Dion. I care about Meon. Filipina MTV. Hey, good morning, she says to me. No, I stay hyped up, guys. Y'all don't understand me. I stay hyped up. I've been rejuvenated over here. But I'm on the outside looking in at people over there, and I'm thinking, like, America's on fire, man. I can smell the smoke all the way over here. You know, y'all can't have a decent conversation outside of football or basketball. I ain't give a damn about LeBron James, man. Shit, I wish him the best of luck. You know, I hope he wins, but at the end of the day, he's not paying my bills.
Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
You know, one of the thrills I get out of my job, being a travel agent,
Yeah,
is when these guys, you know, you don't know, but I sold cars for 45 years, okay? And I was damn good at it. That's why I did it for 45 years. I worked for Reggie Jackson for a part of that time. But so I'm real good at follow-up. And one of the things that really charges me up is when these guys get back from their trips, when I follow up with them, and I'm like, how was your trip? And they're like, oh man, it was even better than you said it was going to be. And it's like, yeah, I know. And then what happens is, I'll talk to them again maybe in a couple of weeks or whatever. And they're like, man, I can't wait to go back. I said, so now you see United States from a realistic point of view. You've seen it from outside the bubble instead of constantly looking at it in the bubble.
So what I was asking, what is it you sell? Do you put together an itinerary for people? For example, like here's a youth hostel you can stay at, and this is the cost, or this is a hotel that is rated really high. A lot of my people go there.
Yeah, I do put together. Yeah, I do put together that type of itinerary. Yes, sir.
But what do you tell people to prepare for when they come to the Philippines?
What do I tell them to prepare for? I tell them to be prepared for an attitude that everybody is not following them. Everybody is not their adversary.
What about the heat? Do you tell them, hey man, it's hot over here?
Oh yeah, I tell them how to dress. I tell them how to dress for sure.
Yeah, this isn't Texas heat, guys. They always want to argue about that. Y'all get a break in Texas, W Secret to Success. We don't get a break over here. Okay, it's hot. I mean, it's really hot right now here. We were in Bacala. I don't know why. I told Marilyn, I said, why is it so hot here? It's hotter there than it is in San Carlos. I guess because we were in the city. Wasn't a whole lot of trees.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing to prepare for, guys, over here, the heat. Let me read this. He said, Big Dog says the customer or subscriber is always right. I wouldn't put them down. No, I'm sorry, guys. These guys are, you don't know who they are. So you saying that even the trolls are right. Okay, a lot of these guys, you don't even know if they're real or not, Big Dog. You handle your channel the way really. That's all we're having. It's really, at the end of the day, it's not that serious. Chef Kevin from Kentucky. All right, he said, visiting the Philippines for the first time. I'll be there Thursday for the first time. 17 minutes on Deion Sanders. Yeah. Now you flying into Manila or Cebu, Kevin? Because that makes a big difference too.
Ooh, I wish he'd have booked with me. So I could, as a chef, man, I got a number of places all over the Philippines. I'd give him a food tour. We'd start in maybe Cebu or Manila, and we'd go to we go down to Iloilo. We go to Davao. We go to Cagayan de Oro. We go to Tacloban. We go to Baguio, Angeles. Man, I'd have. Here's a chef. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I wish I'd have had an opportunity to help him set up an itinerary.
Yeah, but do you ever talk to them realistically about the women's situation over here?
Yes, I do.
And, prepare for that, because that's something that a lot of men don't really prepare for. We think we do, but we don't prepare enough for that.
Calvin, the same people that call you come on your channel when you might want to talk about the weather of it, you got a tagline, the thumbnail of the weather in the Philippines, and they're going to steer you into talking about relationships. Those same people are getting in contact with me, and I'm trying to talk about, well, how much time do you have for this trip? And they're wanting to know, well, what's the women like? And it's like, and I get so sick and tired of it, and I keep telling them, like, listen, the last thing you need to worry about is the woman, okay? If you're going to the Philippines, are you going for a vacation or are you planning to move there? And either way, all you got to do is show up and be breathing. And if you want some companionship, you'll get it.
Yeah, I can't blame them. I can't blame them because, they always talk about these old guys with these young women over here. I really can't blame them. I mean, because there's some beautiful young women over here. I mean, do I understand it? Do I judge them and all that? No, but I can see their interest, guys. I'm here. I see it every single day. I'm like, okay, I get it. But we never talk to the woman. We never talk to the young lady to get her view of it. I'm going to try to find that because I want to get her view. Because I
talk to one every day.
Yeah, there's some out there that have a channel and they talk about all kinds of stuff. And
no, I'm not talking about the ones with the channels, John. Those aren't the real Filipinos, okay?
No.
They're putting on a show. Okay, they're putting on a show.
Calvin,
they're selling views. A lot of them will tell you that they're lucky to be with the older man. But I don't want y'all to hear it from me. I want y'all to hear it from them, because we're always looking at it from the man's side. A lot of these women, they're thankful, man. They'll get on their knees and thank God that he sent these old men their way. Because Dana said something early in the program that it probably went over people's heads. We don't understand the struggle over here. Okay? It's not just the man's fault. A lot of these women, they're inviting these men over here. They're saying, yeah, come on over here and get this candy. Okay? Yeah. Because I'm starving. I haven't eaten, I'm eating every other day or whatever it is.
You're absolutely right.
So we'll talk about the man who is also starving, and somebody gives him a steak and he eats it. And we'll say, oh, man, what are you doing eating the steak? We're going to criticize him for eating the damn steak. Well, hell, you think you could turn away some of this steak over here, John, if you were starving? I don't think so.
Well, I think I can.
I said if you were starving. Well, I said if you were starving.
I don't know.
You're not
I don't know the answer. I'm really, really good about saying no to things that I know are going to be damaging and to myself and to other people as well. And this is going to be a very unpopular comment, I'm sure, but I have expressed to you before that those things are mutually exploitative relationships where the woman she is financially vulnerable to a guy that is seeking to have his ego, his self-esteem, and his libido satisfied, and finds someone who is vulnerable to him to get what it is that he needs.
Well, maybe maybe she's not vulnerable. Maybe she understands the unspoken agreement as well as he does.
Well, they do, guys. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, listen to this. Me and Merlin, we're coming back on the bus yesterday from Bacolod. You know what Merlin asked me? Am I going to replace her with a younger woman? I'm like, well, why are you saying that? Because you always talk about you don't like old women. They know what's going on over here, guys. We got to give them credit for that. Okay, they know the dynamics.
Well, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I'm saying this from an older American's point of view that is looking for a 25, 26, 28-year-old girl. Sure you can. Should you? I know you don't want to pass judgment on it, but I look at it like, you know what, man, there's better choices for you to make. That's better choices.
Well, but it's easy for us to speak for other people.
That's right. And we value your opinion because everybody has one. Okay. And you're telling us what you wouldn't do it because, like I said, I had to think real hard. But see, my uncle, though, he was different from you because he loved pussy. Okay. That was the difference between now he loved it. That's between him and you. If he would have been on that Filipino train, he'd be over here with young women. Okay, but he didn't have to because he had money enough to fool with the young women over there. But I just don't want to get into the shaming people and judging people stuff because, guys, remember, we're in the fourth. We're in the fourth quarter.
I'll do it for you. You know, we got a concierge service down here where the madam will show up with a couple of different working girls for you to say yes or no to, and they've shown up with young girls, and my answer is always no. I'm not going to do that. My particular preferences are, if I'm going to date, it's an older woman. And you know, the last girlfriend I had, she aged out. She's 50 years old. She aged out at 45 and needed to go. I'm sorry. So now this one's 43. You know, the clock's ticking on her too, but 43, not 23.
Yeah, but give people their preferences, John. If you got yours,
well,
let them have their preferences. You know, but we're not gonna argue about that because, you know, men are going to do, even if you were 100% correct, John, they're not going to listen. You know that.
Yes, I know.
They're not going to listen. Okay? They're going to do what they want to do. They watch these videos for entertainment and stuff like that. They don't watch them to learn anything. Okay? They do it to pass time because when they get over here, they step in the same pile of doo-doo that we tried to tell them was there in the first place.
Yep.
Okay? That's what they do. So they're men, they're grown men. But okay, hey, the poor man's passport guy, thanks for that super chat. He says, some deep lessons with the lady voice too. He says, I was the prize and a half. Yeah, you know, it's just that we're so uncomfortable with that. Dana said something to me yesterday. He said, Calvin, you know, when you have those meet and greets, he said, I see how you kind of stand off to the side and kind of let everybody else mingle. He says, but the people are there to see you. He said, I know you like to accommodate, make sure everybody's happy. He said, but they're there to see you. He said, it's okay to be special, he said, right? A lot of us are uncomfortable with being the prize, man. So we do everything we can to not be the prize over here because we're uncomfortable with it. We got the royal flush. There's no higher hand in the deck than a foreign man who comes over here with his wits, okay, with his pension, okay, but we lay it down as if we can lose. You can't lose over here with that, with the hand you're bringing over here. But we do, and we do it over and over and over because of what Dana said. We're uncomfortable being special, okay? And he was right about that. You know, a lot of times, you know, I don't want it to be about me, but really it is about me. Those people get those plane tickets and they fly all those ways. They want to meet me. They want to be in conversation with me. But I'm really too shy really about that. So I kind of back up. But I'm going to take a look at that, Dana, because you're right about that. You're exactly right. And I think that's why men have such a problem over here. The table's set for us, but somehow we messed it up. We turned the table over.
Yeah, it's that mindset we bring with us over there.
Yeah, yeah. The Filipino Dream Team says, go to the mall or grocery store and you can come back with 5 women. Well, it's not quite that easy. You know, because people always talk about the blonde hair, blue eyed guys. Well, they're not here. They stopped. They're probably in Mexico, John, because if they can, blonde hair, blue eyed guys can get women anywhere. The men who are over here looking for women, we're just the regular guys. We're not going to stand out anywhere, okay? This is what I'm saying. So, you know, it takes a little bit more than just showing up. You do have to have some conversation. You have to have some personality and some persuasion.
What was the name of your Canadian buddy that came there to the airport expecting them women
Yeah,
to be
Mike.
That ain't happening. Man.
Yeah, Mike. But listen, I'd like to say he was the only one, but he's not.
No,
what happened?
It's so many. You would be shocked. Yeah, he eventually his son came here, and he was just as awkward as his daddy. They end up going to Thailand and then ended up going to Vietnam before they went back to Nova Scotia. But he never. He got one woman. She was a prostitute that the guard hooked him up with. He paid the guard 6,000 pesos to go out and get the woman. Then he paid the woman 4,000, and she ended up stealing 7,000 for him. So it cost him 19,000 or something for a piece over here. See,
yeah,
so it's really not that easy. You know, crazy guys. But yeah, he actually spent 19,000 over here. That's what I've had guys come over here. One of the last guys who really came over here and we kind of hung out for more than a few days. He spent $30,000 in 2 months, and he never got a hookup. He never met a woman.
So see,
okay.
It's not about the money, okay? You know, $30,000 and he didn't get a hookup. See, it's not about the money. That's the guy that doesn't pass the smell test, Calvin. He don't pass the smell test.
I don't understand it. You know, it's just that, like I said, you got to have some personality. You have to have some conversation. It's not that easy. You can't just walk in the grocery store and come out with 5 women over here. That's not true. And that's why people don't like my channel, because I'm going to tell you it's not true. Them other channels are going to say, yeah, do it. You know, basically, that's all you have to do. But you have to have that other stuff too, John. It's not that easy. I know you've heard all the stories too, right? Now, here's this guy.
I've been there.
Okay.
It's a long time ago, and I don't know that the culture in Subic City, Olongapo, and Angeles is the same culture that's in, the rest of the Philippines. Back then, it was, I love you, no shit, buy me drink, and that's the only English they needed to know.
Yeah. Now here he is. He's the exception. He says, "Oh, my Filipina has a job in her own house," but that doesn't mean anything.
No,
what kind of job does she got? What kind of job does she have? What kind of house does she have? A house over here is not what your American thinking is saying it is. And if she has all of that, then why is she with you? Okay, there's a reason she's with you.
Yeah,
okay?
Because that's a bamboo.
Because she wants a better job and a bigger house. That's why.
She's in a bamboo house with a tin roof.
Yeah, but to him, she owns her own business. Yeah, sorry store with 3 strands of Nescafe coffee and 3 strands of silk. What's the name of that you use? The shampoo.
I'm wondering if that house came from his predecessor.
Shampoo. Yeah, absolutely. But this is what I get on my channel. These guys like here, they make me laugh.
He's never been to the Philippines.
She has her own job. Yeah, her own house. Yeah, because if she does have a real house, you built it. You talking about? You're crazy. You think you talking to over here, man? Hey, Mopar, thanks for that super chat. He says, great show, great guest, great info tonight. Well, I always like to have John on here because he got it. Man, see, people say, oh, I don't like guys who have a different view than me. That's not true. I want him on here because he has just a totally different view of what most of my viewers have. But he gives us a different perspective. I think that's healthy. And then Dana, with the topic being what it is today, he's got a lot of experience, a lot of information that he can help you guys with if you're listening, but you're not listening. Okay, that's the problem. Now, what about, I told him about the sunscreen. If you come to the Philippines, you need about 130 SPF. And that's crazy, right? But it's true. Okay, when I did my walk last week, I tried to slide under that. I used the 70. I'm sorry, it didn't help. All of this is burnt from my shoulder blades all the way back. It's burnt from that wall.
Calvin,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. You have not felt sunburn until you've had the tops of your ears get burned from the sun. You're wearing that baseball cap. You think, oh, I keep the sun off my head, and the tops of your ears get burned. No. Yeah, I'd say about 130 SF is about appropriate for the Philippines.
It is. It sounds crazy, but it's the only thing. Look, that's what Maryland buys. See, I'm paying attention to what the locals do. She buys 130. She knows a whole lot more about me, and it works on me because people seem to think that black people don't burn. Man, this sun over here will burn you. You can be purple black over here, and you're going to get burned. Your skin's going to peel. Okay, I've seen Africans walking around here with sunburn, believe it or not. Okay?
The sun is an indiscriminate employer. It don't
That's
care.
right.
You come out
Kevin
here
Hill
and play,
said,
and the sun's going to make you pay.
He said, Kevin Hill said, it's always about the money. If you don't know that, peace and blessings. He said, good luck with that. He said, Calvin already explained this, boots on the ground. It's true. But see, the problem is, okay, we even try to set him up, but once the women come around, if you can't persuade them, if you don't have the persuasion, they're going to take that trip to the mall because that's what he did several times. He went all the way to Tacloban. Then he went way up to San Carlos City in Luzon, took 30 people out to dinner and everything else, and still didn't hook up with the girl. The money's going to get the.
Was he just awkward? Was he awkward, or what was the deal?
Yeah, he was awkward.
When you see this guy, he doesn't look awkward. But see, he's on this. A lot of guys come over here. They want to be religious in the light, but in the dark, they the damn devil. And I think that was the fence he was straddling. But he only wanted young women. He didn't want older women. He wanted young ones. Okay. But all that money he had, and he wasn't able to snarl one, man. I've never had 30,000 over here. And I don't have any problems getting women, because you have to have some type of personality, though. Filipinos they're funny. They like to laugh, and they like to have a good time. And if you can't do that, I'm sorry, man. You got to make the first move and all of that, okay?
Calvin, I talked to some of these guys extensively, okay? And let me tell you, some of these guys lock up in front of a woman like Mitch McConnell at a press conference. I mean, they go into mental comas because they're trying to think, well, what should I say next?
Well, that's what the guy did to me, Mike. He knocked on my door. I'm in the bed sleep. My daughter came and said, Dad, your what do they call him? your guest or something was at the door, right? He's got his phone. He said, she said, hello. What am I supposed to say? I'm like, say hello back, man. And slammed the
What?
door like, don't you woke me up for that? This is a true story. That's Maryland. He's knocking on the door. They said, hey, he's not out there. I go to the door. She said, hello. What am I supposed to say? Hell, say hello back, man. I slammed the door and went back to bed. He says, Golden Gate said, what about the guy who was in here that does work with Les Brown? His wife is reductive. Yeah, I mean, he's really like
You can always find an exception to the rule.
the exception. And remember, his wife was an OFW for years and years and years. And some of these women are smart. They will send money back and build houses and buy land and stuff like that, okay? But remember, he's doing a lot of work on that house. I'd have to see it first, you know. But yeah, you're right. Scott has a real productive wife. I mean, you know, it's over here. But remember, she's in her 40s. Okay. He said they throwing shade tonight. And I said shade must be on sale. Yeah.
Well, how are you going to appreciate the sunlight if you don't see some shade? Okay.
He says, and off. Yeah, these flies and mosquitoes are real. Yeah, thank you for that. Now, the only time you're going to get a lot of flies, first of all, you probably around a lot of chickens over here. Chickens, you know, and roosters draw flies. Merlin told me that. Yeah, Merlin told me that. Because I was like, yeah, not here though, but where we used to live, man, they had some chickens behind us because I was like, where's all these flies coming from? Those damn chickens. Now, mosquitoes, we don't have a problem with mosquitoes in my house right here. Now, in Siquijor Island, when you're right by the damn ocean, yeah, you better have some off or they're going to eat you alive. Or any kind of standing water. And yeah.
That's what the geckos are for, Calvin.
Geechee Land said, Calvin, I bought sunscreen. I didn't see no 130. Well, you better go get out of Walmart and go somewhere else. He said, I got 50 at most. Yeah, well, that's like having nothing at all over here, Geechee Land. Take that back and get your money back. And ask them people to give you a higher. 50 is nothing. The sun is going to laugh in your damn face. You put 50 on you. That's like cooking.
Go to Amazon.
That's like cooking grease. That's like wearing cooking grease over here, John. You put a damn 50 SPF on you. You inviting sunburn, man. Don't do it. Yeah, you know I'm telling the truth, Dana, because you've been over here lately. You know that sun ain't no joke over here. Don't bring that 50 over here, Geechee Land, because I won't recognize him when he comes over here. He says, go out at 5 p.m. and later. Yeah. Lesson learned after one day in the Philippines. And this is great advice here. I always say that early in the morning. But y'all ain't going to get up early. But go to the mall. Go to the mall, man. They got free aircon.
That's what the natives do.
Yeah, because you don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be stuck in the damn house or condo all day. Maybe the first couple of days you do to get that jet lag off, and and to shoot your damn load because y'all know that's why y'all coming over here, and that's why y'all got the woman waiting at the airport. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I say don't do it because I know what's going to happen. You're going to be stuck with the woman. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. Hell, you can do whatever you want to do. But I'm just telling you, when she shows up with them two little plastic bags of clothes, those little eco bags of clothes, you know she ain't going nowhere.
Cal, you better learn how to either read a book from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 5, or take a nap. One of the two.
Now let me go back to this. He says, Cal, I'm Captain Mark. Says, Cal, you're crushing these guys' dreams. Have a heart. No, I promise you, everything that you see on them sugary videos is real. It happens over here. Okay, but you gotta have some type of game, man, for you to put that into play. Okay, and you can't be too old, John. See, y'all don't give the Filipino credit. You can be too old over here. Y'all heard me say that.
Yeah.
I'm the only one going to tell you. Okay. I've seen it with my own eyes where women will turn men down because they're just too old. And some guy says, well, why did you tell them to lie about their age? Because Filipinos, they can't wrap their mind around somebody being 80 years old because they're going to look at what 80 is like over here. So hell, if you don't look 80,
either.
yeah, they're going to say, hell, they're going to lie to you anyway. So you might as well play the game. It's a game over here until it's not. So if you come over here and you 80, but you look 60, well, I'm 60. That's going to get you in the door. But if you come over here hollering about you 80, man, it's going to be crickets, dude. I'm telling you now. You certainly ain't going to get.
I remember maybe a year ago, might have been a year and a half ago, when you were talking about these old guys coming over there, and that they were surprised that the girls that they came to see weren't the relationships they ended up with. And that's because these guys failed to realize that Filipinos are people just like they are. They just speak a different language. They have the same wants and desires, the same prejudices about age, sexism. They're the same as we are. They just speak a different language. Okay, and you have to acknowledge that. If you come over there thinking like the guy that came over there that you said was stinking, okay?
Yeah.
You know what? You know.
Well, which one, Dana? Because there's a bunch of them come over stinking.
Yeah.
People that don't bathe?
Yeah.
Man, they stink. They'll stink up that guest house in a minute, man. And even when the mother goes in there to clean and it backs her out of there, that's funky. But they expect a woman to want to be all up on that. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen, guys. He's right.
John, they land in the Philippines, and it never dawns on them that the women that they're seeking might have some standards about what they're willing to accept.
Yeah, I've got a neighbor down the street that's got to be 150 years old. He farts dust, and every year he goes up to Thailand and doesn't mind. When he comes back, he doesn't mind sitting up at the bar and talking about the debauchery that he was involved in up there. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what?
Yeah, but you got to realize something. The reason I like the Philippines is these are real women we're dealing with. We're not dealing with bar girls. Yeah, Thailand's a whole different. You know, that's their job. They got to lay down with whoever comes through that door or whatever. Over here, you know, the standards are low, though. I mean, because of course, you know, like I said, you know, because of the circumstances. But sure. They've got standards, man, that they'll cut you off. Like, no, I'm sorry, but you stink. And they'll tell Merlin, and you know, or they'll say you too old.
Let me just say this, okay? And if you want me to, Calvin, I won't say another word to this program. But let me just say this, okay? My opinion is, if you want a 30-day girlfriend or wife, go to Thailand. If you want a relationship that's going to last you the rest of your life, go to the Philippines.
Yeah, you know, just be careful. Be careful what you wish for, though. See? Be careful what you wish for. Remember, I'm telling you, there's a lot of great women over here, and you're going to enter into a great relationship. But it's a cost, man, and that's all I want to tell you. I'm going to tell you the truth. You pay a high price, and she does too. You know, it's not normal for somebody to come all the way over here and get involved in a relationship. I'm just telling you, these relationships are not normal under no circumstances. And until you realize that, you know, you got another thing coming. These are not normal relationships. Yeah, we're human beings, but that's the extent of it. It's not normal.
You're going to have to navigate a few relationships to find the right one.
Yeah, but they're not normal by any stretch of the imagination. You know, and as long as you can deal with that, it's okay. You know, guys are like, oh, you know, see, we come over here with that Western thinking. He says, why would you tell them to lie about your age? Dude, they're never going to tell you the real deal about them. It may be 10 years before you find out something that she probably should have told you in the first week. See, that's part of the problem. Okay, if my wife would have told me, see, Filipinos, they're not going to rock the boat. They're not stupid. They're intelligent. They got a good thing. So they're not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you your breath stinks. They're not going to tell you, hey, you know, I don't want to do this and do that. They're going to lie. Yeah, they're going to lie. Okay, so if my wife would have told me, hey, I don't want to go back to the Philippines. You know, let's try something else, you know, to break through that anxiety and depression that you're dealing with. You know, maybe I wouldn't be here today. But she didn't tell me that. They're never going to tell you the true story. See, so there's women suffering silently in America, and there's men suffering silently over here because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to mess up the good thing they got. I don't know. That's not good because I went through that. You know, hurt my feelings sometimes, you know, but I want the real deal. You know, I was with my wife for 10 years. We never had an argument. How does that work? You know, because she's hiding something. Now, Lilibeth Tate channel. Wait, okay. She says, hold on. I'm trying to hit this. Okay, here. It's the Lilibeth Tate channel. She said, guys, prepare for the humidity here in the Philippines.
Absolutely.
Now, sometimes those long sleeve shirts, it'll keep you from being sunburned, but man, yeah, I don't know if there's anything that's going to protect against that humidity, but to stay in that air condition somewhere. You can't fight that.
Nothing is going to prepare you.
You know,
nothing's going to protect you from the humidity.
It's not just sunburn. Here where I'm at in Mexico, we're in the desert. It's like Arizona, but the humidity here is 70%, 75%, about 90 degrees. And that's for 4 months. October 20th, it's like a light goes off and we're living in paradise for 8 months. And you'd think I'm used to it. Yesterday, it was 80 degrees, 75% humidity, and I went for a bike ride. And typically in weather like this, I'm only going to go about 5 miles and then back. But I decided, you know what? It's really nice. And I went for 9 miles, and I have a watch, you know, the sports watch tells me everything. And I saw my heart rate was up to like 140. And normally it's normally it's like 118, and I'm not pushing it. 140, and I got 2 blocks from the house, and everything was fading out. And I mean, I've been there before. I was ready to go out. I had to get off my bike and literally lay in the gutter in the shade. Some Mexican people actually were coming over to me and said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Think about that. Is Mexico dangerous? Yeah. They came over and said how I was doing. But even if you know what you're doing, you've been living in the desert for decades, and you go out, that stuff creeps up on you. Sun, heat, humidity. You got to kind of pay attention to what's going on.
That's absolutely right. Now, Beach of Life said, kudos to the guys that can stomach the real nitty gritty and still getting on the plane. I'm not trying to discourage anybody. Look, all the good stuff that people talk about, it happens over here. Absolutely, 100% it does. But I just want to tell you the flip side of it. and some things to look out for, some things to prepare for, and there's a price that you pay. First of all, it's that 20-hour flight over here. That's not easy. I mean, she better be everything she said she was when you get here. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Don't put it all in one damn basket, because that's a long, long way, and I think people discount that. It's
So,
a long way to show up, and you see that she's had a damn filter on the whole time y'all chatting on WhatsApp.
You
I'm
said,
sorry.
and another person said that they fell into the trap when they landed at the airport. They showed up with a whole bunch of friends and family members. Is that typical? And is that a scam, or is that a cultural thing?
Well, both. But that's a red flag. That's a red flag, though. Okay, and the other guys on here, they'll push back on that. Look, I got ambushed when I went to the province, not at the airport, but because I know it happens at the airport. But most of the women that met me at the airport, only my son's mother came with 2 girls. But hell, I hurried up and dropped them off. We dropped off first at the hotel. They wasn't hanging with us. Okay, because I knew
you got ambushed, Calvin.
Yeah, I got ambushed, and it's like I fed the whole province. I had to back because I'm way out. I'm talking about I'm way in the province. There's no signal. They could have put me on the damn spit and barbecued me. Nobody would have ever found me. But I end up buying 2 lechons, all the fixings. I spent close to 20,000 pesos. This is $2009. That's like 60,000 today, or 50,000 today.
I just got a client that just got back from the Philippines. Okay, and they had a party for him coming to their little village where they were, and come to find out, he had to pay for the party.
Oh, geez.
You think?
Yeah.
You think you?
But it's not typical. It's not typical. If they show up like that, that means she's really not interested in you, man. The women, they just don't do that. Not the ones on the dating sites. If you meet them on the dating sites, they raring to go. They've already signed up for the unspoken agreement. Okay, it's the girlfriend experience all day long. Okay, if they show up at the airport with all those people, I'm dropping them off. It's what I'm gonna do.
So
in the damn van going.
Do you find provincial living to be an attractive idea as opposed to like Cebu?
It can be. All provinces aren't the same, John. Some of them are mountain province. But if you're just talking about a typical province, like away from the city, absolutely. Every time I get on the bus, if you really want to see the Philippines, get on a bus. That's the only way you're going to see it. I'll walk. But get on the bus and you'll see it, man. It's like a big farm. Once you get outside the urban cities, it's just like a big farm everywhere you go. And it's so beautiful out there.
John,
I would say you would have to have a car, though. You'd have to have a car and transportation in the event something were to happen, because the further away you get from the cities, the more antiquated the hospital care becomes.
It gets real remote.
Yeah, it gets real remote.
Calvin, to correct me if I'm wrong, when you're out there riding in the provinces and you're on a 3-lane road, okay? But one of the lanes, which is next to one of the curbs, you can't drive on it because they're out there drying rice in that lane. That's remote. That's remote. That's something that no blogger is going to tell you about, okay? They're not going to tell you about how traffic is going to come to a standstill because these guys are out there with their harvest of rice, laying it out, spreading it out on the highway to dry it out so they can pack it and ship it.
He said, Calvin, when a man stinks like that, his internal organs are not correctly working. I don't know what it is, but some of you guys, hell, Mike smelled like that when he came over here. And I was like, because I was like, Mike, and Mike's my buddy. I'm just telling you guys, I said, Mike, I said, could you handle the water? I said, could you handle the water over there? Because, I don't have hot water in the house, but it's not cold, And he said this with a straight face. This is the next day at breakfast. I said, he said, well, I didn't take a shower. And I'm like, I looked at Marilyn. Marilyn looked at me, and I'm like, but he's got on all, different clothes. And he says, I don't know. I didn't take a shower.
All you had to do is take a whiff. You knew he didn't take a shower.
We got a guy like that down here who never, ever, ever showers, ever. And I don't get it.
I don't get it either, because I was shocked, because, that's the first thing I always ask people, like, how's everything going? Did the water pressure and all that? He said, I don't know. I didn't take a shower. And I was just shocked. I was like, wow, do people still do that today or not do that today? But Mike, you're talking about a pleasant personality. You're talking about a good guy. He was as good of a guy that you ever going to meet. He was just different, man. He was awkward, man. I mean, it's like, I heard Nova Scotia is like the province in Canada, I guess. It's not the regular Canada, from what I heard. But you're talking about a nice guy. I could hang around with Mike because he's so funny, but he's so naive, man.
He's innocent. He's like a big innocent kid.
Yeah, Lilibeth. I was on Lilibeth's channel. Go check her out. She interviewed me and Merlin the other day, and she's got a bunch of questions that they asked you. But she's on here, and she's not a spring chicken. And she'll tell you, no, I'm just telling you that she'll tell you, you'll get another perspective on the Philippines and on relationships when you talk to a woman like Marilyn and like her, because they're around the same age, I think, in their 40s. But it's just, I can't blame these guys, though. When you see some of these young women over here who are willing and able to be with those guys and who will tell you, hey, I thank God for him. You'll be shocked, man. You'll be like, I see why he's with her. But it's just too cringy for me. I've got a conscience, and that's the only thing that will stop me from doing that. Now, behind closed doors, that's another story. But out in public, I've got a conscience.
Well, we were talking about it the other day
doors,
that,
Calvin?
they parade them around on YouTube channels, and I'm thinking to myself, what does your family in the United States think of you? I mean, they would be looked at as weirdos in the U.S. Why aren't they weirdos in the Philippines?
Because the culture will accept it.
I don't know.
It's tolerated. It's tolerated over here. To a certain extent. It's tolerated to a certain extent because you see it so much. And the people have seen it so much, John. You got to remember, this has been going on for a long, long time. Long before, now, Dana's the oldest one on the panel, long before Dana was born. So they see it all the time. It doesn't mean they like it, but they see it.
This goes back to the 20s and the 30s, man.
No, it goes before that. Hell, I'm pretty sure when those soldiers got over here and saw them women over here, man, it was all hands on deck, all hands on dick.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, it wasn't. How it is.
When you're 22 years old, sure.
Yeah, but see, we're not talking about 22-year-old sailors and soldiers. We're talking about these old guys, man.
I know.
In my category.
Listen, I get it. I understand it. I want to tell myself, if your ultimate goal in life is to find a happy place and you're not harming another human being, go
for it.
Go do what you got to do. But as a man in the arena, I gotta say, you know what? I don't need you here. Go back and hold your woman's purse in the mall. I'm in the arena, man.
Listen,
Brad Clark,
I saw a
he said,
cartoon. Go ahead, Calvin.
no, he said, did you ever hear from Mike after he left? I think he stayed the entire trip without a tune-up. Wasn't he talking to a girl in the slums that somehow set him up with locally? Yeah, that's the one that stole the money from him. She stole, and she stole from herself, really, because Mike would have given her the world. I mean, he was giving this little woman that probably wasn't even a 2 on the scale. Okay, he was giving her 4,000 every time, but she ended up taking 7,000. So hell, you tricked yourself out of what's 4 times 7, 28,000. You tricked yourself out of 21,000. You know.
I saw a cartoon the other day, Calvin, that even now it has me still laughing. There's this guy, and I'm going to guess he was in his 60s, okay? And he's out of shape. He's got on his paisley swimming suit, and he's sitting on the side of a swimming pool. And there's a really pretty young girl that's swum up right up to him. You know, she's got her arm around his waist, you know. And the caption of the cartoon was Maria, 29 years old. Anthony, 29 million.
Yeah, but why is it okay for the rich guys over in America? Because that's all it translates into over here. The men in America who got money, they've got young women. It's always been that way. It's nothing new. I mean, why all of a sudden do we get such a tizzy when normal guys do it? I don't get that.
I think we're kind of looking at them with a jaded eye too. The Tom Girardis of America. And look at Kevin Costner right now, 69 years old with a 49-year-old wife, whatever her age is, and he's got to pay her $69,000 a month. My opinion is those guys break the system for everyone else. You want to throw that kind of money out to someone, you've just broken the system.
Yeah, don't they go by your income though?
Well, they go by your income when it comes to like Allo. He had a prenup, and the judge decided with him that she wanted like 129,000, 161, something like that. But they broke it down in terms of he's no longer doing that Yellowstone show, so he doesn't have that income coming in anymore. And these are the needs of the children. The needs. What is a normal need for these kids to live? Not paying for her cosmetic surgery, not paying for all the things that she wants. And they figured out from the finances that this is, $69,000 a month fulfills the needs of the children.
To keep them in a lifestyle they were accustomed to.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what?
Right.
Here's another piece of good news. Florida, I don't know if other states did, but they passed a law that gets rid of perpetual alimony. And as a private investigator, I used to work cases where these guys were paying alimony out of California, and if the woman cohabitated or married again, she would lose that alimony.
Yep.
Women are up in arms about the fact that they're losing perpetual alimony because that's their living, man. They don't have any incentive to go out and get a job, an education, or anything else.
That's right.
Now they do.
Now, Mopar says you pay the same price for an old car as a new car. If I got to pay, I want a new car. And I don't blame him, man. We knock these old guys until we get over here and you see like who they're dealing with, and if it's about morality, then we're all coming up short. But I really can't blame them for wanting the young, beautiful woman, because some of these guys over here just got some knockout, gorgeous young women. But like I said, in public, it's just too cringy for me, man, because they're gonna stare you down anyway. But if the women don't seem to care, guys, this is what I'm trying to say. We never talk to the young lady. I'm gonna try to find one in that situation who can be honest
Have
and
her on as a
really talk
panelist.
about it.
Yeah, have her on as a
Well,
panelist. I think that would be
Calvin.
pretty cool.
Well, I did before.
51 years old.
About Seth's travel vlogs on here, and she was as honest as any Filipina that I've ever seen. She was like, yeah, I like them old because they can stay over here with me. She was 28.
Yeah.
She got married to her husband 67. Okay. And she wasn't apologetic about it. She, this is what we don't see. I see the other side. Y'all don't see the other side. These women are proud out there, man. They're not ashamed. And this is what I don't think y'all are seeing. What y'all seeing is just the man and the woman. When they're out in public, man, you'll see it, man. She's all up on him like he's Brad Pitt or some damn baddie. And they'll tell you they're proud. And they're not ashamed, man.
Unspoken agreement. I don't care.
We're ashamed. In our minds, we think we're doing something wrong. So that's why we feel ashamed. They know they're not doing anything wrong. They'll say, oh, she's just jealous. They're jealous of me. And a lot of times that's what it is. They wish they could be in my shoes, because we're taking good care of them. Don't get me wrong, John. These women aren't with these old men just because they're old. Okay. If they are, they don't have it all in them. They don't have it all together up here. But most of these young women that you see with these older men have got money. They're taking care of them, okay?
Yes, sir.
I mean, they really are. But they're just not ashamed. They comb their hair, the man's hair. They do everything for the man, all out in public. PDA that they normally wouldn't do with a Filipino man.
Man, it's these
and
Christians.
say, hey,
It's these Christians over here in the West that makes these guys ashamed of having young women. That's all. That's exactly what it boils down to.
And then they're the worst ones of all. They're the hypocrites. They just mad because they can't do it. They're sitting up there with some old ass woman, pussy sagging, touching the ground, and
like a stretched out.
They're mad when they see a guy. Look at John. He works. Not you, John. We worked side by side the factory for all them years, and he went to retire in the Philippines and got a young 25-year-old wife. And I'm stuck with you. This is what they're thinking in their mind. So he's going to go along with his wife if he wants to keep the house and all that. Yeah, look at John. He's pitiful, isn't he? It's a shame. He's over there taking advantage of them women. That's not the story for real, guys. They're jealous a lot of times. But like I said, you have to, if you put yourself in their shoes, if you really come over here, I mean, there's some absolute stunners over here. You'd be like, I don't blame them. If you can do that, right?
Calvin, I'm 73 years old.
Yeah.
She's 51. Okay? You don't have to be a teenager. Don't have to be a 20-year-old, 25-year-old. There are so many good-looking and fine women, and I mean fine from character, not just beauty. Okay? So you can, whatever your age is, you can establish what boundaries you want to deal with. Okay, at 73, do I want a 25-year-old? Hell no. Do I want a 30-year-old? Hell no. Okay? So I got what I was looking for. I got a younger woman. I got a woman that loves me like crazy. She's 51 years old. And you know what? I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. And neither does she.
Well, see, that's a good age though over here, because remember, women are gonna mature a lot faster than men anyway. Okay, and a 51-year-old in America, I don't know. You might can get a 51-year-old over there. You can't.
I can get them, but I don't want one.
Yeah, yeah.
51 years
He
worth of
said-
attitude and entitlement.
He said, I'll take that 51-year-old if you're done with her, Dana.
You gotta go.
but-
You gotta find one on your own, bro.
But if you're 73 over here and you're with a 35-year-old woman, that really not going to draw a whole lot of attention. But not over here, because the 35-year-old woman, she looks mature. You know, she's not going to be wearing all that old crazy stuff that these young girls wear. And she's going to look, you know, like a woman. You're not really going to be able to tell her age. Now, when you go lower than that, that's when you get the chismis. But like the guy said, let the haters hate, he said, you know, because my buddy Steve.
I'm going to give you a really good example. Black man in the village, okay? If you look at his wife, you'd swear she was in her early 30s, okay? And this is a good-looking woman, okay? And doesn't raise an eyebrow. Nobody is even offended by their relationship. You know?
Yeah, but he's not that old though.
He's
They've got a
53.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're about the same. They're about the same age. Now he did something I would never do. You know, he met his woman in America. She was already there.
Yeah.
And she had already been married to a foreigner. See, that's too many layers for me right there. You know, I don't want to, you know.
Well, that's good that you know your boundaries.
Yeah, that's watered down. I want the original. I don't want the crispy. That's the crispy right there. But I mean, you know, she's a nice looking woman, and I'm not knocking him for that. But I'm just saying, it's too many layers for me. I don't want a woman that's already been with a man over there. Nope, I'm sorry. He said 35 is an old maid there. Not really, man.
No.
But I'm saying, if you're so what do you call a man who's 73 or 78? If a 35-year-old maid, you don't think he's doing good by having a 35-year-old woman, man? Crazy. It's better than having a 68-year-old woman over there.
You got that right.
That's true.
I guarantee you he's 6 times happier than a 68-year-old man in the United States.
Absolutely. They got, you know, they stay in the friend zone because, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm out of touch, but I don't know if those 68-year-old women are still having sex. Are they, John? Are they?
How would I know? How would I know about a
Dana?
68-year-old woman? It's like a stretched out tube sock. I don't want to go in that.
Listen,
throwing a crowbar into a gymnasium.
By the time they hit 55 years of
I
age,
sent you a picture of my
by the
girlfriend.
time
Yeah, she's beautiful.
43 years old from Guadalupe. They got those green eyes, man. So, you know, listen, I'm going to be a little weird. I would like to think that it's possible for me to have a conversation with somebody that understands what the hell I'm talking about.
There you go. There you go, John.
And you know, after the 15 minutes of the most glorious sex she's ever had in her life, I wouldn't mind talking about something that was pretty interesting. I'm not saying that Filipinos or Mexicans are stupid. By no means. But I'm saying that they might be a little culturally naive with regards to some of the things that I'm interested in. Now, it's their country, it's their culture, it's the right thing. If I'm there, then I need to adhere to that. But I think it's okay for me to go anywhere in the world and have a common interest with someone where I could sit down and talk, and if I have a weird sense of humor, can say something and they're going to laugh at it without being offended. I'm just not thinking that anyone that is either even in the United States, nowhere, if they're 26, they're not going to get me. If they're 35, they're probably not going to get me.
Right.
But if it's just sex, if that's all it is, man, then just lease. Just lease.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to buy them. You don't have to marry them. You don't have to keep them around.
See,
For-
one of the things that John, one of the things that most guys in the West forget about, they think that a relationship is a relationship. They don't understand that, like anything else, relationships have different components that make good or bad relationships. And if you can't communicate, if you can't relate to each other, all the sex in the world is not going to make that a good relationship.
No, you're right. It won't. It won't. What are you going to do afterwards?
Well, certainly if you don't have sex, it's not going to make it work either. If you take the sex away from that. But here's the thing. A lot of men come over here, they're already established. You know, all they want is a woman to be with them. They're not interested in all that conversation and all that, John. You know, it's how it is.
Is that what they go down to the coffee shop for, to talk to their other expat brothers and get their
yeah. See, and then they come home, they just want something to look good, something
these guys
that looks good.
These guys are seeking trophies. They're not seeking women. They're seeking trophies. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But, you know, like I said, a lot of times they're handed their old man wake-up call because, you know, when you're dealing with these young women over here, man, let me tell you something. They're going to want it, man. They're going to want it back to back. And that's when you get your old man wake-up call like, do I really want to deal with this 20-year-old woman? You know, because the minute you done sit there and did your little 3 minutes of huffing and puffing, and, you know, you're like, let me lay back. She's like, no, I want some more. Okay.
She's on her cell phone on TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you something, John, like the Beats of Life said, 15 minutes, man. Okay. Y'all got a damn, what they call it, max man over here. He ain't going no 15 minutes. It's more or less.
I wore my sports watch the last time she was over here, and I burned 750 calories during that episode.
Good for you.
See?
Good for you.
But like I said, if you get these nice looking women over here, you're not gonna last 15 minutes. Hell, you might last 15 seconds.
Calvin, what did that girl tell you? You can do anything you want to me as long as you don't hurt me.
Oh well, that's
but she didn't. You know, you added on something. She didn't say as long as you don't hurt me. She just said you can do to me whatever you want. You can do whatever you want to me. I've never heard that before. I've never heard it since.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, these uptight, this is the way things are supposed to go. You get one of these fine little Filipinas in front of you that tells you that, okay, you gonna be questioning your Christianity.
I want to do stuff that's even illegal in Arkansas.
Man, let me tell you, I'll be looking for a chandelier.
Here's Geechee Lions Journey says better to have a trophy than to have atrophy.
Yeah,
that's right. I think you're getting close. You're getting close, Geechee Lion. Don't come over here and get. He said 53 is a baby. Not over here.
No.
Brandon said, I'm 49 and my girlfriend's 22. And man, do I get the looks here in the States. Oh, yeah, you're going to get them. I told you I had a friend in Kentucky. He met his Filipino. He's the only Filipino he's ever dealt with. They still together. He was 50 and she was 19 when they met. Okay. And they're still together.
How many cities has he been run out of?
No, they live in Carrollton, Kentucky. They live in the mountains. But I'm saying, but he's jealous. He won't let her work. He keeps her up there. He's made an agreement with her. You don't work, I'll take care of your family back home. And that's what he does. But he never felt bad about it. I mean, he said he wasn't embarrassed about it. But you're talking about a man.
He's up there in the mountains, Calvin. He wouldn't do that in Louisville.
Well, if he
Well,
was up in
they
the Kentucky hills, maybe that was a better choice than his cousin or sister.
no. Listen, his first wife, ran off with his best friend, so he was damaged.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not gonna try that again. So I'm going to the Philippines. He got him a young wife. They're still together. They got one little daughter. He bought his mother and father's house. They live in the mountains, but not like Appalachia. I mean, he's got a good job and everything. They go everywhere, but he said, Calvin, I don't care. He said, people stare at us everywhere we go. Not anymore, because hell, she'd be, I think Roxy would be 30 years old now.
Yeah, they're used
You know,
to her.
yeah, and he's 60 and she's 30, because me and him are the same age. But he was 50 when he met her, and she was 19. Okay, but he came up with that agreement, so he did the right thing. He came over here for 2 weeks. He did all the paper, went back, did all the paperwork, brought her over. He's fortunate, really. Because he didn't know that woman. He didn't know her. He just ended up. I mean, imagine he came over for 2 weeks, took all the pictures and everything, went back, did the visa, and brought her over there. And they've been together ever since. So sometimes it works out. But remember, he won't let her work. He's jealous. He will not let her go anywhere by herself. He's got to be with her.
I tell you what, Calvin, you led me to thinking about this. For all of your viewers this evening that's coming to the Philippines and you're gonna hook up with a woman, or you've been talking to somebody on Filipino Cupid or all of that stuff. Okay, the very first day you're with her, you gotta ask her one question. Does she have, or can she get a Cinnabar?
A what?
Cinnabar. That's her documentation that says that she has never been married before, or she's a widow.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be getting all excited over some woman, okay, that she got married at 19, had 2 kids, and you can't marry her, or you can't take her back to the States.
Dana, do you plan on marrying that 51-year-old woman you got there?
Beg your pardon?
Do you plan on marrying that 51-year-old woman you got there?
Absolutely.
Why would you do that? I mean, marriage is really sort of anachronistic right now. What's the purpose?
What's the purpose? It makes me happy. And when I know I'm 73, I know my shelf life. If I can get to 100, it'll be amazing. Okay. But what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to leave her in a better position than she was when we first met. And she wasn't destitute. Okay. She wasn't destitute.
Yeah, but I'm saying, has she earned that?
Yeah. She's earning it every day. I'm not going to marry her as soon as I get over there. No. That would be foolish. I haven't spent that much time with her to ultimately say, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to marry her. And so I'm going to marry her like in 2 weeks. No.
How many times you been married before?
Twice.
What makes you think this is going to work?
Why? Because I'm older, I'm smarter, and like Calvin, I know what the boundaries are that I was looking at. I've learned my lessons.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, remember, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And I hear you, Dana. There's nothing wrong. If he fails, then he's gonna be happy. Are you bringing her back to the States? Are you bringing her back to the States?
Hell
she must.
No.
She must have squeezed your balls pretty damn good. You can marry her.
But wait a minute. You got to remember, Calvin, you forgot part of my story. Remember, I was initially going to move to St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands. but the cost of living and then the supply chain issues and then COVID made it so expensive in St. Croix that I had to start looking for an alternative. That's how I found you. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, you met her one time, right? And I'm just saying,
No,
she must have
we've been together a couple times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But she must have gave you the
Listen,
real
you know what?
Filipino tune-up.
Men, and
And
I don't
then,
know.
you know what?
I don't know what your
It wasn't so much
circumstances
the
are.
tune-up. It was when I woke up in the morning and she's down there on her knees tying my shoelaces. I'm like,
Listen, I
That
don't know
ain't
what
never
your
happened.
circumstances are, but when people get lonely, they wind up doing things that just are part of, you know, trying to find some kind of relief in their
Yeah.
life. Loneliness is so epidemic and so dangerous, and
It is.
and a lot of times people have been married longer than they've been single, and they don't know what it's like to be a single man. They don't know what their personality is as a single man. They see themselves as being part of a couple, and it's difficult for them. I've been divorced for 40 years, and there is absolutely no way in this life I'll get married, because it's not in my best interest. But more importantly, there's no way I could possibly do justice as a partner to someone else. At 65, I'm narcissistic. I want things my way. I'm not going to change. I feel like I can have anything that I want. That's just where I'm at. And so I don't want to be cruel to someone and make them think that they have the possibility that.
but that works for you, John, and more power to you.
Well, how long have you been a single man?
Your life is your script, so you stick to your script.
Yeah, I'm interested in yours too. I'm interested in yours too, because it could be every man's story. So how long have you been a single person as a senior?
My last divorce was finalized in 1988.
Well, that's a long time.
And I've been in 3 major relationships since 1988.
Man, I hope this makes you happy. I hope you wind up being a success story, and this is a happy thing for you.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I know I'm gonna be happy. That's why at my funeral, y'all don't be shedding no tears. You be partying. Okay? Yeah, I want a New Orleans style funeral. I want you guys to say, boy, let me tell you, he stuck to his script, and I tell you what, that's one happy MF. That's where I'm
Dexter Dixon, thanks for that super chat. He said, I went through all that drama here in the U.S. in 2000. I met my Filipina. I was 40. She was 24. She still turns heads. We'll be there next month heading to Dagupan. Any advice? Now, I don't understand. Are you still with your wife now? Or
Sounds
I don't understand.
Sounds like she still turns heads, so I'm guessing he is.
Well, she's only 27 years. Oh, wait a minute. He met her in 2000.
Now. And he'd be 6. No, he'd be 50.
She's 60. She's
54.
47.
That's not bad.
No.
Yeah, well, she said it's Filipino wife. Okay, met my Filipino. Okay, so he's saying any advice. So evidently she hasn't been here in a long time, I guess. So yeah, I would go to, it's a lot of romantic places. The Philippines is real romantic, and you can bear witness to that, Dana. There's a lot of places here, man, where you could take your woman. If it's just you and your woman. Man. This is where me and Marilyn bonded. We used to go to so many places, man. Sinky Hall. We'd go to so many places just together, and you'd be looking the ambience and all that, man. And then
you talk about romance, brother. Listen, let me just give you a handful of romantic places where you don't have to spend a lot of freaking money to make a relationship romantic. Okay. There's the what's the name of those that waterfalls right outside of Cebu?
I don't know.
Cabaycan Falls or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then You can go to the resort that's 16, well, no, it's 8 miles outside of St. Carlos City, up in the hills. The place that has the I want not bungee jump, but it has the
Zip lines.
zip line.
Yeah, the zip line. Yeah, you're talking about the Vista Highlands.
Yeah,
We went past there yesterday on our way home.
Yeah. Okay. There's another place that is right outside of Valencia, outside of Dumaguete, that is fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
I dare say there's places in Moncton, the place you and TJ went to, that house that's over there on the beach. Man,
Yeah. You better bring your wallet. You want to? That's owned by a rich. That's owned by a rich family. That's $500 a day. But yeah. Now Jeffrey Tatter says, on her knees tying your shoes. I thought you were about to say something else.
Yeah, Jeffrey, get your mind out of the gutter, buddy.
I think she squeezed him while she was down there. And did she propose to you? She got on her knees and proposed?
No.
Because somebody, I don't know who I heard say this, but they said that's the reason why men get down on their knees to propose, John, because they're proposing to the pussy. Yeah, I heard that.
To who?
To the pussy.
Oh,
That's funny.
That's why they get on their knees.
That's funny.
Okay, now he says you have to. Now, would you consider yourself lonely, Dana, before you met her? Well, I guess you would. Everybody else coming off that, what you call it, that pandemic. I guess that lockdowns. I guess they were.
No, I wouldn't say I was lonely, and the reason I say that is because most of my best friends, because I was a car salesman for 45 years, most of my best friends were women. I found that the women were more sincere. Because in the car business, you got a lot of young guys making way too much money, living excessive lifestyles, and you couldn't talk to them about shit. Okay, whereas women were easier to talk to, and you could get up and say, okay, I enjoyed the dinner and I'll catch you later. So for me, I wasn't, I wouldn't say I was lonely. And besides, I was with a Canadian. You guys were talking about Nova Scotia. I was with a Canadian for 6 years, up until just before the car accident in December of 2019.
Yeah. Okay. Dexter says, yeah, we're still together and I'm retired, living well here in Vegas, looking for our retirement home in the Philippines. I've never heard of that spot before, Dexter. That must be, where is that? Can you tell me, is that in Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao? Because it doesn't strike a bell with me.
I think it's in northern Mindanao.
Yes. So his wife must be 47 now.
Yep.
And that would make him 63. Well, hell, that's a good combination.
yeah, it is. So Dana, when you were locked down in coronavirus, were you on dating sites?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did you find that experience?
Frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating, man. There's a lot of good women on there, man, but you got to go through hell, just to find, one. But I guess if it was easy, everybody would do it. But there are good women on there because those were the ones who don't want the rest of the Philippines to know that they're lonely and that they're searching. That's where they go to the dating sites because it's discreet.
Well, and the thing about it is, Calvin, one of the things that's frustrating, especially during the coronavirus, you knew she was locked down, you were locked down. There was no end in sight as to when the lockdown would be over. and you knew if she was chatting to you, she was chatting to 5, 6 other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what you should do, though. That's what, if anybody's on the dating sites right now, you gotta have 4 or 5 that you're chatting with. That increases your odds of really finding somebody that you can get along with once you get over here. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, don't make a commitment online to these women. That's what they
No.
want, because they're not going to make a commitment to you. If you think that they're going to stop chatting with them other men and they're sending 10, 15, $20 every now and then, you're crazy. They're not going to do it. It's first come, first serve over here.
Well,
The sooner you get over here, the better. You know,
Calvin,
because
that's how you got made it with Maryland. You happen to be there.
Absolutely, I happen to be there, but this is just something that I know. I mean, I try to tell y'all, but guys think that they're special. They think, oh no, I'm different. No, it's not. You got here before the other man did.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. When the Philippines first opened up, man, I promise you this. This is what I was typically seeing here in San Carlos, in this little bitty small city. Women were entertaining 3 or 4 men. A man will come in for 2 weeks, you'll entertain him, he'll go back home. Here comes another one, you know. But that's slowed down now. See, they got the big head over here. Women were really thinking that they were the prize, right? Now that it done slowed down, it's back to normal. But this is what they were doing, guys. You know, you'll go back, you're doing the visa. He's banging he's knocking her socks off while you back in the States doing the damn visa.
Yeah.
You know, take your time when you come over here. Chat with 3 or 4 women. See about 3 or 4 women when you come over here. There's no rules to that.
I'm gonna tell you something.
If not, you're gonna be in trouble.
I'm gonna tell you something else too, Calvin. To all you guys, take it from me. I'm a professional travel agent. All right. The Philippines geographically is about the size of the state of California. All right. So if one is in Cebu and one is in Baguio and one is in Davao, okay, a flight from Davao to the northernmost big city up there, which is Baguio, is going to cost you $104 US. Okay. So,
yeah,
don't think like, oh, I have to be, my parameters has to be only with, because I'm going to Cebu. It only has to be with a girl in Cebu. Let me tell you about Cebu Pacific Airlines. If a flight ain't late, it ain't Cebu. It's not Cebu Pacific. Okay. But that's why their prices are so low.
Yeah, we get ready to get out for guys. I want to thank my panel first of all for a great live stream. I know y'all's y'all on a different time zone. What time is it, John, in Mexico?
It's almost 9 o'clock.
Is that the same time with you, Dana?
It's 10:58 p.m.
Yeah, I want to thank you. I'm going to give y'all the last say. Dana, you go first. Just, give us some tips on travel, how to get in touch with you, whatever you want to do. You got 1 minute.
Okay, in my 1 minute to get in contact with me, make sure you go to my email address. That's Dana, D-A-N-A, middle, MIDDLETON @AOL.com. And you will get me without any problems. The other 40 seconds I want to tell you, guys, get off the couch. Get off the freaking couch. Your best life is waiting for you if you'll just get off the couch. I'm done.
Hey, thank you so much, Dana. I appreciate it. John, give us something to chew on, man. A book or something.
Well, I'm not, and will probably never chase subscribers for my YouTube channel, but I see I already got a new one. And I would say to you, if you want to see what Mexico is really like, Crazy Old Gringo on YouTube, you can go in there and see all kinds of videos. I'm riding around on a bike, and a lot of it is me stopping by and eating at different places and giving you a thumbs up don't usually do thumbs down stuff, but it'll give you kind of the street food that exists out there, and you might walk away a little shocked at how Mexico is really not all that different from any other place you've been. Crazy Old Gringo. Just give it a try. I think you'll be surprised.
Yeah, thanks, John. I appreciate your perspective, man. It's
I'm
so
in, John.
far out there for man. That's why I like to listen to you. And you give me a lot of good pointers, a lot of good articles. He sends me a lot of good articles in my email.
I'm sorry. I'm
going to piggyback off what Dana said. You know, people think that I try to discourage them from coming over here. I'm not. I'm saying that all of that stuff is true about the Philippines. This is a beautiful place. It fit me like a glove. It might fit you like a glove. But just use your common sense. Don't run over here and be a damn fool. All of that good stuff that you see happening on YouTube in the Philippines is real. But they just don't tell you the price that they're paying for it. It's a big price. These relationships over here are not normal. You don't fly on the other side of the earth to get into a relationship. So just know that, you know, just always keep that in the back of your mind. Even if you take her home like that, I think he said he met his Filipina in the States. Now she's going to be away from her friends and family. She's not going to tell you she's unhappy because she don't want to rock the boat. She don't want to mess up the good things she's got. But I say, get off the couch, come over here, go to Mexico, go to Brazil, go somewhere, man. Get a different perspective on your life, man. Time's not running out, but your life is. Thank y'all so much for all your super chats, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Show. Take care, everybody.
John, it's a pleasure. I'll be in contact with you, buddy.
Hey, my living expenses a month are $336 a month. $336.
You're making me
That's
sick.
not including food. That's not including food, though.
It's not. It is not. No.
You look like you could eat. You look like you eat a lot, John.
I'm 6'2" and weigh 250.
Wow. Yeah, you're big. Yeah,
big
but
guy.
September 16th, guys. 9 days from now, I'll be doing my walk, guys. Thank y'all for your support, your encouragement, your help, because I'm going to need it, man. It's not easy. I did my 2 hours walking today. Matter of fact, I want to show y'all, well, my shoes are outside. I want to show you the shoe that I settled on. Hold on. Hi, honey, give me that shoe, that orange shoe. Hurry real quick.
Are you using a sports watch to track your steps, your cadence, your heart rate, all that?
Well, I'm going to do that. I didn't do it on my long walk, but I'm certainly going to do it for my long walk. Well, yeah, I don't know what she's doing.
Man, it helps
I
you
just want to show you
a lot. If you're paying attention to your heart rate, it's starting to go up.
But see, the problem with me, the problem with me is I'm a clock watcher. So I'm going to keep on looking at my damn watch. Yeah. But here's what I settled on, guys. It's the
Roka?
Nike.
Oh.
It's the Nike Zoom X. This thing, man, is probably the most comfortable shoe that I've ever worn. It's light, man. I mean, it's super light.
Did you get those in the Philippines, or you order them out?
No, I got them in the Philippines. I got them while we were in Bacolod, 8,595 pesos. But man, they're gonna make. Look, I can squeeze in the damn. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're super. I wore them today on my walk to break them in. They're gonna work, man. But I'm gonna bring both pairs just in case it rains, because the other pair is waterproof. But yeah, I'm gonna need all y'all support, because that's not an easy thing to do. Getting on a plane is easy, Dana. That's why millions of people do it every day. But walking 165 kilometers is not easy. But take care, y'all. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
All right, friends.
All right. Good night, everybody. God bless.